All right, how's it going, guys? Welcome to Dirty Dad's podcast, a new segment of weekly news nobody's talking about. All right, we all understand how the news nowadays kind of just gets tunnel vision on whatever agenda they want you to see and everything like this. So we're going to talk about stuff that nobody else is talking about or little to nobody is talking about. And I've been tracking this for years. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. All right, everybody, for the most part, if you don't know, I'm just going to school you on a little bit of information here. Okay, after the collapse of the Bretton Woods gold standard, everybody understands the U.S. dollar used to be tied to gold. Okay, we actually struck a deal with Saudi Arabia to standardize all oil prices in dollar terms. Now, what does that mean? Okay, what we did is we go, okay, we're going to give you military protection in Saudi Arabia, and we're going to use our military to essentially protect you. All you have to do is you're not going to sell any oil without being in the dollar standard, which actually kept us at the top of the heap here, so to speak, as far as monetary value goes, because you couldn't buy oil without being in the dollar standard. All right. Now, you're like, oh, that's great. That's freaking awesome. That puts us, our dollar worth essentially more than anybody else's, even though the exchange rates differ, how you want to look at it. So let's go to what I've been tracking for years. Now, the petrol yen was made, okay, we're looking 27 March 2018. Okay, this is like 3 years ago that I heard about this. I'll mark all these websites in the links below. But you look at the petrol yen helps Russia and China dump the U.S. dollar in oil trade, right? They made this to themselves. And you're going to go, well, why did they do that? Is there a bigger thing? And that's kind of what I thought. There's got to be something bigger happening here. Now, you have to realize that Russia and China, especially China, they're very patient people. Okay, they will implement a plan and wait years and years and years to develop this plan, and that's exactly what's happening now. All right, and we'll get into that a little further. But all right, China is the world's biggest crude oil consumer. All right, you got to realize all the manufacturing went there, all these different reasons on why they're doing it. Okay, and where do they get most of their oil from? In Russia. All right, so what they did is they made their own petrodollar, kind of like the U.S., and they were exchanging it between each other. And you're going to go, okay, well, that's not a big deal. If they're consuming from there, what does that have to do with the U.S. dollar? All right, so they don't need U.S. dollars, essentially, except to trade to us or how you want. Okay, now we're going to go into what happened a couple of days ago. All right, and now this is where it gets a little big and shady. You got to realize, what did we do? We back them militarily for the exchange of that. They're only going to exchange U.S. dollars for their oil. What just happened here? Now you have to realize these are two huge countries that are in OPEC. All right? If you don't know what OPEC is, I would do some research on that. I'm not going to go too much into that. Okay, OPEC essentially has like Russia, Saudi Arabia, U.S., and they essentially, for lack of better terms, they manipulate the price of oil. They truly do. They manipulate the price of oil. But you have to realize Saudi Arabia has the lowest production cost for oil. So they pretty much, they can go, $30 a barrel and still make a profit. Russia can't do that. All right. So this happened a couple days ago, and this is a little crazy. All right. Saudi Arabia signs a deal with Russia to develop joint military. All right. A co-op essentially between these two countries. Now, you have to realize we had the co-op and we defended Saudi Arabia in all these terms. Now they are taking over our spot slowly but surely. Now, what is that going to do? Now, this is where speculation kind of comes in here. All right. And it's scary. It's really scary. You got to realize oil for years, we're talking 1970s, 50 some years, 50 plus years. We've had this monopoly that you couldn't sell oil or trade oil pretty much through OPEC without the U.S. dollar. Now, if they sign this deal, they're taking our spot essentially as their defense. And you've had this yen, this petro yen, that was developed 3 years ago. It was already set in place. Now they sign this deal. Now, what is going to happen to the dollar? And people are like, no, that's not true. There's no way. All right. We are debasing our dollar, and people don't understand this. We're printing dollars left and right. We're giving out free money, and that's great for people that need it. That's fantastic, okay? But what you don't realize is that our bonds aren't doing any money. A lot of people are actually dumping U.S. bonds and putting it to the euro. China did to the euro, and they're getting a negative rate. Why in the world would you want a negative rate that you're actually going to pay a country out more money than you're actually taking in? Why would you do that? Well, it's easy. Yeah, you're perpetuating this collaboration between these countries to go, okay, we don't need the US dollar. We can do this without it. I will consume all that oil and we just pay in this denomination instead of utilizing the US dollar anymore. And if they bump us out, which I'm going to be honest, I truly think is going to happen. As soon as I saw that 3 years ago, I was like, they're trying to bump out the US dollar. I mean, if you just look at the headline here, I'll pull up the headline here. Petro yen helps Russia and China dump the U.S. dollar in oil trade. That is crazy. That is absolutely nuts. And people are like, nah, that can't happen. That can't happen. That can't happen. Well, guess what? 3 years later, hey, they're signing defense contracts for military to help each other out now. What is that going to do? They don't need the U.S. anymore. They don't need us to back them up. We spent 50 years on top, okay? And now that's coming to an end. It's sad but true, people. We need to wake up here and realize what's happening. It's not the hand in front of you that you need to be looking at, okay? It's the one that's about to stab you in the back, okay? People don't understand this. And I don't, we keep talking about the debacle that's going on in Afghanistan, which I understand. That's horrible, okay? We covered that on another podcast. But here, you got to be kidding me. How is nobody seeing this, okay? I encourage you, do your own research on the subject. Check it out. See what you think. All right. Because I can't be the only one that's seeing this. All right. I've been following this for years, and I cannot be the only one that's actually seeing what's going on here. This is crazy, and it's going to collapse the dollar. I understand the dollar's strong right now. Okay. Today is what? August 26th. All right. And they're like, oh, the dollar is gaining momentum. It's better gold and all the other nonsense going on. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Gold prices, silver prices, these commodities, food, all this other nonsense that we're seeing going in inflation, this is just the brink. If they capitalize on this and they make this happen in the next couple of years, okay, where they start using the petrol yen instead of the dollar, you're going to see the dollar tank. We don't produce anything here in the United States. We don't. I mean, we do. Absolutely. Soybeans, stuff like this. Okay. We are not self-sufficient in any sector at all. I think what do we have? We have a copper mine. We got huge copper mines here, stuff like that. But they've already done it. I mean, somebody in a different podcast already brought it up that a lot of our mineral rights over in Afghanistan were pretty much contracted through China. So China's buddy-buddy with the Taliban and everybody else. So they can consistently, have rights to those mineral rights that they claimed when we went in there. We're idiots. We are absolute idiots. We put forth more money than any other country in that war, the UN and all this other nonsense, and we're walking away with nothing. If anything, we gave them weapons. We gave the Taliban weapons and everything else, and China is going to reap the rewards. So is Russia. Russia can't go in there. All right, they already went to war there. They weren't going to get in that mess again, okay? But they stayed in the shadows, and they're working with other countries to realize this vision. And I don't understand why our politicians are letting this happen. Okay, if someone, I'm not going to go out on a limb here, but someone as dumb as me can sit here and connect the dots with you guys on this podcast. Okay, you're telling me somebody in some intelligence community can't do this? Are you serious? To see what's happening right now? This is crazy. I'm baffled that this is actually happening. When I saw this article 2 days ago, I was like, you have to be kidding me. All my worst fears are coming true for this country. And I don't know what to say. I'm at a loss for words. I would say I'd be a little bit scared because when this happens, I don't think the American people understand that we've been riding a high horse for 50 some years. And it's going to be our generation that it all comes crashing down, or our kids' generation that it all comes crashing down. And they thought the Great Depression was bad. Just wait. Just absolutely wait. It's gonna be horrific. Okay? So tell me your thoughts, what you guys think. Do your research. If you got anything else that I missed, please put it down in the comments. Let me know. And you guys need to stay knowledgeable about this. All right, don't watch CNN and Fox. All right, start looking for your own news articles, because the stuff that's really going on, it's truly not being reported, because they don't want to make people scared about what's really going on in this world and why we're not seeing the invisible hand moving. All right, this isn't a conspiracy theory. These are facts I just laid out for you guys on exactly what's happening, and we're watching it happen in front of us. Our power that we spent years and years developing, just going out the window to other countries, and we're allowing it to happen. So, without further ado, thank you for this special weekly update here. Hopefully, we'll have more for you guys, and some special guests about news that nobody is talking about. All right, so dirty out, and until next time, see you guys.